Woman Wednesday. This Candid with Kiri series, I'm going to be sharing a little bit about three keys for me, three keys to success, to unlocking your mindset and being able to accomplish your goals. So come on in. I'm going to share with you just a little bit this afternoon, and I pray that you all receive some type of value. And if you do, go ahead and like the post, share it, and then even drop some nuggets, some of your takeaways as well, because sometimes people are not able to stay on or view, but they read the comments and perhaps something may resonate with them that they may want to watch this video in its entirety. All right, so last night I attended a workshop in another industry as I'm looking for another goal of mine is to get into real estate investing. So I attended a workshop last night, but the speaker was just very phenomenal and hit on so many points. I've written down so many things, and I'm like, what he was sharing was really true, and kind of like stirred up some things and had me putting things together on paper. And I'm like, what, some things that we struggle with as even me myself from time to time is really trying to formulate from where we are to where we want to be, right? So, and then as I look over the course of my tenure, not just in this business, but in my overall businesses, I was like, I realized there were certain things that stood out to me, things that I either known, had to come to realize in order for me to become successful and or see the success that I desire. Okay, and forgive me, I'm not shouting you guys out, but TikTok, you guys already know what to do. Go ahead and smash that hot button. Thank you guys for tuning in. Right, so again, I'm going to be sharing with you my three keys to success. All right, so I want to share with you the first one is taking action. Oh my gosh, right? That's a hard one, right? And I know, taking action, it sounds so like, that's easy, right? But no, you don't. Sometimes you just don't know how much of a procrastinator you are until it's right in your face sometimes, right? Sometimes neglecting your health, you don't realize you neglected so much so that you're either burnt out, tired, now you're physically aching, and or you have an ailment, or if you're eating unhealthy, now you're like 20 pounds heavier from last year. So again, like taking action is not as, sounds easy, but sometimes it can be a challenge. But when you take action, and this is what I shared with my partner who attended the workshop with me, it's really how the formula for my manifestation process is imagination plus visualization equals manifestation. Okay, so taking action. So the action first starts up here in your mind. So you have to see yourself there. You have to see yourself in that position. You have to see whether it's your dream house. Okay, what does your dream house look like? How many bedrooms? How many bathrooms? What's the square footage? What does it look like? What color is it? 2-car garage, 3-car, right? So you're imagining it. You're seeing it in your head. And then you're having these conversations, positive conversations with yourself in your mind, saying, okay, this is what it is. Now, the continued action in that is the visualization, having something in hand, something tangible that you can see, smell, touch. Perhaps it's driving in that neighborhood that you desire to build or you desire to buy, right? Perhaps, hey Tracy, perhaps it's going to the car dealership, test driving that car that you desire. Or in business, perhaps it's speaking and mentoring and getting under the wing of the individual that you see that they're successful and you want to model after them. Perhaps it's getting on their radar or modeling after them or seeking their mentorship, etc., so forth, right? And then the manifestation process happens when you're taking these consistent actions. And one of the examples that the speaker last night had brought really into clarity is sometimes we have the goal, right? So if you're the goal, you're back there, right? You're back there, and let's just say I'm gonna use 2 markers, okay? I'm gonna use 2 markers, and we're really gonna indicate. So the black marker is furthest from me, but closer to you, which is the goal. But I'm back here. Again, we're like this far away, right? So sometimes what we do is we want to get to the goal, but we don't want to do the goals. We don't do those markers. We want to jump ahead. We want to get from where we are to immediately where we want to be. And that's not how it works. Having short-term goals. So again, if I desire to be successful and my why, having financial independence, perhaps it's reaching this first marker. When I reach this first marker, guess what? Now I'm able to start a business that allows me to get more freedom. freedom, time freedom, financial freedom. Perhaps it allows me to use certain type of AI tools and resources to get that freedom, right? To have some time for self-care, right? So now I reached this first marker. Now the second marker, now I'm using people, systems, resources to continue to reach that goal towards you, which is that independence. And again, if that's the goal, right? So again, we can't jump ahead. We have to have these smaller milestones. We have to have these goals, short-term goals, and not just have it up here, but written down. Because again, imagination plus visualization, writing it down, seeing it, touching it, smelling it, is going to happen. It's going to manifest in that order, right? So that's the first key for me to success, is taking action, doing those small daily steps, taking those small habitual steps, getting me closer to the goal, right? So when you're writing your goals, you want to write them in a SMART format. And I'm not even going to go into that. That's a whole nother training I've done on SMART goals, SMART, right? SMART format. Okay, so the first thing is taking action. All right. The second key to success that I've experienced is continuing to educate yourself. Now, I know when we hear continuing education, we automatically assume, oh, we got to go to school, we got to spend an extra 4 or 5 years in school, we got to no, but continuing to educate is always learning, because life is not your friend, life is not your enemy. Life is a teacher. Life is always teaching us something. So a lesson is always going to be learned. So we have to continue to educate ourselves. Perhaps it's taking that professional development course. Perhaps it's diving out into a new industry and learning some skills and some trades. Perhaps it's again mentoring with someone. Perhaps it's again partnering with someone. Whatever it is, continuing to educate yourself, and not educate so that you could be the sole person with all the information. Nobody likes to know it all, right? But educate yourself so that you can then turn around and teach someone else. You can share with someone else. And some professions and some industries, you don't need a license. You don't need certifications. Your experience will speak and resonate to those who need to see and hear it. Your experience, your breakthrough, your testimony, right, will resonate with the people that need to hear it. Sometimes it's like taking off. Hi, Deb. Hi, Moms. Hey, Adiola. Sometimes it's like sitting on a runway, right, and we're on a flight, and we have to wait for that plane to take off the tarmac before we can go. Right? Sometimes we gotta wait for that plane. You are the plane. Somebody's waiting on you to take off, to launch, to build, to grow, to overcome that circumstance, that challenge, in order for them now to see you, to be empowered, and to be inspired to also take off. So taking action is the first key to success. Then the second key to success for me, again, is to continuing to educate myself. I'm sorry, the peace sign is the balloons on the iPhone. Continuing to educate yourself, always learning, because life is not a teacher, life is not your friend. Life is a teacher. Life is not your friend, life is not an enemy, life is your teacher. And we are always going to learn the lesson. And sometimes the lesson is going to come a little bit difficult. Sometimes the challenges are going to be there, but you got to know and be aware and strong in your faith to know that this is not going to break you. It's just going to make you stronger. It's just going to make you stronger. And sometimes that comfortability sets in. Comfortability, procrastination. You guys, can you tell the difference between comfortability and procrastination? Right? Sometimes that procrastination dressed up as comfortability sets in. It's like, I'm good. I have this business, but I also have a 9-to-5, and my salary is okay to make it. I really don't need to push jewelry out today. I really don't need to market myself. But what about that dream, right? What about that why? What about that independence that you're looking for? What about that legacy you're looking to leave? What about that time freedom? What about that vacation that you want to live a life? This is what I say. I want to live a life I don't need a vacation from, right? If those are the whys and the reasons, then my why is going to push me on the days that procrastination and comfortability tries to pull me. Let your why be so strong that it pushes you on the days where your comfortability, aka procrastination, pulls you in the opposite direction. Okay? And now the third key to success is your why. right? We all have a purpose. We all have a purpose here in this life. God has given each and every one of us our own individual purposes. And what I love most about this is that my purpose is not tied to yours. Yours is not tied to mine, but collaborative. Can I say that word? Wiki. Collaborative. I can't say it. My tongue doesn't curve. Collaboratively together, when we're walking in our purpose, we're fulfilling our purpose. My purpose is somewhat, my journey is going to probably cross paths with yours, right? If I'm a business owner, I need clients, I need customers. So our paths are going to cross. Customers, they need things too. My customers, they need beautiful accessories to be empowered, to feel confident, to walk into that boardroom, to walk into that interview, and to land the job, to advance in that position. My accessories need that, right? Collaboratively. I think that's the word I was looking for, collaboratively, right? So my path, my journey, my purpose, my business, this gift, we all need people, right? So, and our paths are going to intertwine, but having a why, having a clear reason why, perhaps it's that financial independence, perhaps it's that time freedom. Perhaps it's wanting to spend more time. Something simple as wanting to spend more time with family members. Perhaps some of us don't want to spend time with certain family members. Perhaps some of us dread Thanksgiving because we don't want to see everybody, right? You guys with me? I know I'm not the only one, right? Let me see some hearts, some love, right? Yes, indeed. But again, your why should be so strong that it pushes you on the days that your procrastination, your feelings want to pull you backwards, okay? And then really, when you're continuing to take all of these 3 keys of success, for me, again, this is my 3 keys to success. When I began to look at this, I'm like, what did I do? What are some of the actions I take? Who did I speak to? Hi, Tanya. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I surrounded myself with like-minded people. And then I also surrounded myself with people that are higher than I, right? People that I aspire, that inspire me and that I aspire to attain and achieve their level of success, right? Sometimes you have to pay to get in these clubs. Listen, sometimes you got to pay for it. It costs money to invest in yourself. It does. It really does, right? But that's going to separate the curious from the serious, right? Investing in yourself separates the curious from the serious, okay? Surrounding yourself with people that are doing it, that achieve that level, that like-mindedness, that drive. Thank you so much. Hey, Marcy, thank you so much for tuning in. Right? And one thing that I realized about when I surrounded myself and started to build these genuine relationships and connections with these phenomenal women, Marcy being one of them. Marcy was like one of the first women that I met after my breakthrough overcoming breast cancer, and I started to vend her events at the local malls. I'm telling you, and ever since then, I want to say since like 2021, Marcy and I have been like this, and we're kind of like intertwined in so many other organizations and groups the same, but we still have that relationship, right? Successful people believe in community. Successful people believe and have a team mentality. It's not about me, I. What can I do? What can I do for you? And why you need me and my product, why you need me and my service. No, it's a team mentality. It's how can we help you? Sometimes when I post things, you guys might see it from time to time. I post me and my business as a we and a us. One being because my business is incorporated. It is an LLC, so I'm the CEO. I'm an officer of the organization, right? That's one of the reasons, because we're legitimately incorporated in New York State. But then also, it's us. It's we. We're doing this, right? We're doing this together, right? It's a team mentality. The business is going to have certain automations where it can, do some things as long as I put in the parameters, but then it's also going to require me to take action. Remember that first key to success? It's going to require me to take action and tell it what to do so that it can do what it do, right? And again, we and us, if we're talking about team mentality, connecting with those, seeking mentorships, continuing your education. You don't know how, so let me share this, and we're going to have to wind down. I love these series because I just love sharing. So I hired a business coach. Now, when I first met him, it was on a different level. It was more personal. But then when I took him on professionally and remained professionally, he introduced me to a different network. And then when I tapped into that network and discovered, and I was receiving, and then I was pouring back into that same network. It was a book club at the time. It allowed me to build genuine relationships with other people in this same network. So remember, we started off personal, friends, friendly conversation. We had mutual friends in common. I believe he's my cousin's best friend. So we would talk about how we were from Staten Island, et cetera, so forth, right? And then it became professional. I hired him. I invested in myself, hired him as a business coach. So sometimes it's going to take investment. You're going to have to pay to get in, right? You're going to have to pay to get in, right? But again, intentionally surrounding yourself with people that are like-minded, intentionally getting on the radar. And really, you're not doing it for clout. You're not doing it for likes. You're doing it because God has gifted you this. God has placed a gift or a skill inside of you that nobody can do what you do but you. And when you share that purely from the heart, when you share your talent, share your gifts with others, it doesn't matter who it is, God will align the right people to come into your life. God will allow the right people to see you. God will allow the right people to tap into you. God will allow the right people to be aligned. And that has been my daily prayer. I received 2 new business partners within 2 weeks, well, actually within 1 week's time. And my daily prayer has been, God, you know my heart's desires is to grow. Is to grow and to grow organically. I don't want forced relationships. I don't want to have to motivate unmotivated people. I don't want to have to, have burdensome. I want this to be your business, kingdom business. So God, if you send your people, God, you send your children who will hear this, see me working, doing my work, taking action, right? Showing up, continuing to educate, continuing to share my gifts. You send your people and have your people be drawn to me, and them too see and partner with me so that they too can learn a little bit about themselves or help themselves or better themselves through this opportunity here at Paparazzi Accessories. And not just 1, but 2 new business partners. One I did speak to directly, and the other, God aligned it. God aligned it. I didn't share the opportunity. They just see me, see my consistency. They see the actions. They see the daily steps. They see me live. They see me working. And they could have chosen any other person. So many elites out there, so many elites in this business, so many people that you could choose, yet they chose me. Right? So God will send his people, the right people. And those are the people that you want to partner with. Those are the people that you want to get on, to be connected to. Those are the people that you want to align with. And shout out to my mentor, Mel, because Mel, again, saw me on a piece of content I shared in another team. We're not even on the same team, not in the same downline. We're not in the same legacy, any of that. She saw me, my content shared. I was teaching something. And now we've been connected for the last 2-3 years. I want to say 2 years. It's approaching 3 next year, right? And now we've been connected. So again, when you're genuinely, purely showing up, God answers prayers. And those are the type of people that you need to stick to, stick by, not just receive, but also pour back by continuing to use your gifts and your skills and your talents, okay? Something else that I want to share with you before we go is just focusing on one. And when I say one, focusing on one, right? Focusing on your why. Focusing on your why. Why? We have to know our purpose. We have to know our purpose because, again, it's that roadmap. Before Google Maps and all these other ways and all these other logistic training, there was such thing as called MapQuest, and you couldn't download it. You had to print it out sometimes. But you need to know what your destination is. And then you have to work your way backwards through goal setting, taking action, weekly goals, monthly goals, quarterly goals, in order to achieve that destination. But you have to know where you're going. Who's driving around burning gas just blindly driving. And we're trying to say, oh, we want to be a millionaire overnight. We want this. We want the big house. We want the flashy cars. We want the purses and the bags. We want all of this, but we don't know where we're going in life. No more surface level for Kiri. There's no more surface level. There's no more surface level living. I've been through way too much to be living life on the surface level. This is intentional living. This is purpose-driven life. This is purpose-driven. It's purpose-filled and purpose-driven. So focus on one. That one is your why. And your why may change over time, but focus on one, and focus on one at a time. And one thing that I'll leave here with you, something that's really good, and I know it was applied to this particular training seminar workshop that I was a part of, but thank you so much, Mom. She said, I love this, but it's applicable through through entire life. If you want to increase your success and minimize your risk, you have to become better versions of yourself. You have to educate yourself. You have to grow. Growing pains are uncomfortable. Women, we go through labor. Our belly's growing, right? We're carrying purpose. Ooh, this might be a message. We're carrying purpose, right? We're pregnant with a purpose, and we have to birth the purpose. And it's gonna be uncomfortable for 9 months. You're gonna see us growing. Some of us grow larger than others. And then here comes time for labor, and here comes, all the might have a little bit of complications from time to time, but guess what? We know that we have purpose. Excuse me for a second, I'm live. So we're pregnant with a purpose, and we're about to have birth. We're about to go into labor, and our cervix opens, our hips widen. Listen, it's going to be uncomfortable, but you know what? I'd rather be uncomfortable crying in a Maserati than to be comfortable crying in a Mazda. I'd rather say that I took a risk. I betted on myself and I won, rather than staying in the predicament that I am in now, right? All right, you guys don't go quiet on me. So in order to increase your success and minimize the risk, you have to educate yourself. You have to become better versions of yourself. Because how can we help somebody else up? Increase your success and minimize the risk, you have to educate yourself. You have to become better versions of yourself. Because how can we help somebody else up if we haven't helped ourselves? Ouch. I'm talking to me. I'm just sharing. This is a Candid with Kiri. All right. So I pray that this message, you receive this with love, and I pray that this actually inspired you to want to make a change and want to do better and want to find ways to find your own keys to success, to find your own, milestones, to discover your own talents, the gifts and purposes that God has placed in your life the same. Remember your why. Remember the 3 keys to success: taking action, continuing to educate yourself, and your why. All right, so this has been a Candid with Kiri. If you are interested in partnering with me on this journey, again, this is not just a jewelry business, but it is my purpose and my business to cultivate leaders, to cultivate winners, and to help you become the greatest version of yourself through entrepreneurship. And Paparazzi is simply the vehicle to get you and me from where I am to where we desire to be. I'm going to share a post with you now. I have one scheduled where I was able to put my bills on auto pay. I just received an email not too long ago, took a screenshot and scheduled it out, that because of Paparazzi, because of this business, I was able to put my utility bills on auto pay. And because I put it on auto pay, now I don't owe money. They owe me money. I have a credit, and this is the 2nd month in a row that I've overpaid, and now I have a credit that I don't have to pay my utility bill for at least another 2-3 months because of auto pay. And the beautiful business here that has blessed me and continue to bless me, not just financially, but physically, mentally, emotionally, and through all the beautiful friendships that I have with my brothers and sisters on the pink side. So if you're interested, comment, my turn. Okay, comment my turn, and I'll be sure to hit you in the DM so that we can have a conversation again to help you discover your greatness through Paparazzi Accessories. You guys have a wonderful afternoon. Be blessed, but more importantly, be a blessing to others. Love yous. Mwah. Later.